He's heir to one of the most storied family dynasties in American politics, now taking his first steps into the spotlight. Mo Rocca catches up with Jack Schlossberg.
Announcement, we are honored to have Jack, the grandson of John F. Kennedy. Yes. Thank you for being here, Jack.
For Jack Schlossberg, it can seem like his grandfather still gets top billing.
Was your father or your grandfather?
Yeah.
John Kennedy?
Yep. Grandpa, yeah.
But the 33-year-old grandson of the late President of the United States
Hi, I'm Jack.
is out to make a name for himself.
Hey, what's going on?
Can I meet you, sir?
What's up? I'm Jack.
John Bouvier Kennedy Schlossberg is running for Congress in New York's 12th District.
Hey, how are you? I'm Jack.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
For those people out there who might go, oh man, not another Kennedy, come on.
People can think whatever they like, but I'm me. I'm Jack Schlossberg, and I'm proud of where I come from, but that's not the only thing about me. I'm my own person, so you can count on me to think for myself.
That may be, but he's also inescapably a member of a family with the longest-running storyline in American politics. In just the last year, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., a longtime vaccine skeptic, joined the Trump cabinet as Secretary of Health and Human Services. Many of his own family members publicly rebuked him.
My cousin RFK Jr., who tries to pretend that he embodies a progressive agenda when he's in fact using his last name and lending it to President Trump, who is dismantling everything my family stood for.
I know that you will have the united support of all Americans.
The Trump administration hasn't just targeted programs championed by JFK and his late brothers Robert Sr. and Teddy. President Trump also declassified files related to JFK's assassination, then added his own name to the Kennedy Center before announcing it will close, he says, for renovation.
That name to the Trump Kennedy Center is not going to last.
Do you think that Trump is going to have it razed to the ground?
I think he could easily demolish it. He's trying to kill JFK. JFK will never die because he's kept alive by the people who are fighting, organizing, and rising up now to remove Trump from power.
Newsflash! Republicans are lying!
Fighting words from someone who's amassed an army of 2 million followers on social media.
I've been following you on Instagram since I was like 15.
Thank you.
With some posts that are plain old silly.
Charge!
And others that seek to educate and are positively wonky.
So, SRD, salt cap repeal, fix it now caucus.
And still others that have been more polarizing.
A lot of people talking. Okay?
They say I'm gonna lead. They say I do these accents. I'm making fun of people, making fun of working people. Not my intention, no disrespect whatsoever. You need to be aggressive right now to get your message through.
Some of it's very funny, but I'll tell you one that made me wince.
Okay.
Okay? It's about Vice President J.D. Vance's wife, Usha Vance,
Yes.
specifically the one where you superimposed your face on one of her kids, the joke being that you and she had a love child. Now, she's not elected. Is that crossing a line?
I think what's crossing a line is the propaganda that we see issued every single day by the White House and Vance.
Well, we know you think that.
Right, so what are we
But
gonna
that-
do?
but
Hold
that-
back? Hold back on our sense of humor and not tease them, make fun of them back?
So is
We're
there a line?
The line has been, first of all, I don't think anyone was seriously thinking that I meant that we did actually have a love child. You can point at anything I posted. I will point you back at a president who shares pictures of himself bombing US citizens with fecal matter. This is a new era we're living in.
It's time, he says, for Democrats to take the gloves off.
You know what they're doing in New York? They're cutting off the funding that supports all the infrastructure for the city. They're making New York and other blue states pay more just because they don't like us. And what? I'm not supposed to make fun of J.D. Vance and his family? Why?
For Schlossberg, politics is personal.
My grandmother wasn't elected. My Uncle John wasn't elected. People feel absolute free reign to say whatever they want about them. So I'm going to throw it right back at you because you know what? The time is not now to hold back. Sit on your hands and say, okay, well, why don't we just play it safe? Absolutely not. We got to get these people out of here.
I don't want to make any assumptions here, but there are about a dozen candidates running for the Democratic nomination. Who are you backing?
Jack for New York 12.
Yes, Jack.
Believe in something again. my son.
Jack Schlossberg calls one of America's most prominent Democrats, who's also his mother, Caroline Kennedy, and his father, artist Ed Schlossberg, his most trusted advisors.
He's willing to take the consequences of what people think, and we need people who can reach a new generation. We're not doing it with just boring talking points. And so he has been able to connect with people. He's been able to show that he thinks for himself.
He doesn't have a formal campaign organization. He doesn't have a campaign manager. Is that wise?
Well, I really trust Jack. I trust his judgment. I mean, some of the other people have been preparing for this for years and years, but he came to this new. I mean, he's the outsider in this race, actually.
Which is a little bit of an irony.
Ironic, ironic, and I think, people might laugh when they hear that, but it's actually true.
This is where I lie down in bed at night and I can look at my plans.
An outsider with the education of an insider.
Jack's tariff plan, lower the cost of food and clothes. The housing plan.
Schlossberg has a degree in history from Yale, as well as a law degree and an MBA from Harvard.
With that education, he could do a lot of things.
Right.
He doesn't have to run for office.
No. Yeah, I think he'd be great at this, though. I mean, we need people with that kind of education, and we need people who are really informed and bring a set of values and have the courage to speak up. And I think Jack does all those things.
And a sense of humor.
Yeah.
While Jack was growing up, his parents did their best to keep him out of the spotlight.
Your first communion was on the cover, the front page of the New York Daily News.
You should have been there. It was an amazing event.
That sense of humor has helped him through some challenging periods. There was a debilitating back injury in his 20s.
I blew out my back and my hip, and I had to get my whole hip reconstructed with 2 different surgeries, and I couldn't really walk for about 4 years. At the same time, in the metaphorical sense, strong backbone.
You're
spine like a ramrod.
For his family, which also includes older sisters Tatiana and Rose, Jack has been something of a cheerleader in chief.
We've been through a lot of really difficult periods in our life, and he's always there to lift it up and remember where we are and we're still here.
My name is Jack Schlossberg, and I'm running for Congress.
Schlossberg announced his candidacy this past November, just 1 month before his sister Tatiana died at 35. She described her battle with cancer in an essay in the New Yorker magazine.
How did your sister feel about your candidacy?
I can tell you now that she's still rooting for us, and that the last thing that she said to me was, "You better win." No one knew me better, and I knew no one better than her.
What is it like growing up with 2 older sisters?
It's brutal, absolutely brutal. They don't let you get away with anything. My style is never good enough. I've never gotten an answer right in my entire life. But in all honesty, they taught me everything I know on how to be a strong person. And it's also made me more conscientious and aware of my own privilege and position as a man in a world that often rewards certain types of behavior in certain people. This is a picture of me and Tatiana, my sister, my late sister, us as kids, and then at her wedding.
In his small New York City apartment, he keeps images of Tatiana at his bedside.
Her wedding was in Martha's Vineyard at my family's house, my grandmother's house there. And yeah, it was awesome. And her husband, George, is awesome.
Campaigning is one of the few things that can pull him away from Tatiana's 2 young children.
What kind of an uncle are you?
The best one?
And when a baby's crying, it's because they're tired, hungry, or sick.
Yes.
Is there a 4th?
Or they miss Uncle Jack. A lot of people don't know about that one.
Jack Schlossberg's family, and particularly his memories of Tatiana, at once cheer him up and spur him on.
We're a really close family. For me, when you talk about the Kennedy family, it's a lot of people I don't know. When you talk about what family is, it's me, my sisters, my parents. We're a unit, and we're really close.
Yeah, because, when they say the Kennedy family, you think of those photos with like a cast of thousands.
Yeah.
And you guys usually aren't in those photos.
Yeah, we're not really in those photos, That's a lot of, I don't want to, it's all good, but, family's complicated.